Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to yet another match preview show for all of you guys today. And yes, it is the big one. It's Liverpool or Manchester City against Liverpool. Of course, we are away from home. We are at the Etihad, where Liverpool tend not to win away from there, but can the Reds get 3 points against Manchester City away from home? Hopefully, I really hope so, because again, I think tomorrow, it you know it means so much, I think, for the rest of the Premier League season, in what will happen. I know it's too early to say that, again, will tomorrow have a massive effect on the title race? But again, like we've said over the years that we've been fighting with Manchester City for the title, and even top four, these games matter in terms of when we look at the end of the season. If we've managed to beat City here, if we've managed to be able to take points off of them there, like, again, it's such a huge thing in that aspect of things as well. So again, let me know all of you are in the comment section down below as well. I'm nervous, I'm excited. The Reds are back, and yeah, realistically, tomorrow should be make or break for Liverpool, in some sense as well. But Press is in saying most likely outcome tomorrow is draw, but I'm backing us as well. Yeah, exactly. I think when you look at the last couple of games, obviously Liverpool haven't won there since I think October 2015. Is the 2015 definitely since the last time Liverpool last won a league game at Manchester City, which again isn't that great when you take things into consideration. Obviously, some things you need to take into consideration in terms of, again, the season we won the league obviously was the week before, or the week after, I should say, after Liverpool won the league, so Liverpool didn't realistically care. And then other games, again, you look at the 21-22 season, the 2-2 draw. There's opportunities for both sides to win that. Liverpool, in my opinion, should have gone on to win that game. But of course, I believe that Liverpool tried to, fight another day in that sense, as well. Look, you can say that cost us the league, thinking like that, or so on as well. But look, this game is important for what happens for the rest of the season. You look at, like I said, the one or two games where you go, if you beat City here, like you look at last season, we beat City at Anfield, and realistically, in a normal season for Liverpool or Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, that's a title decider in that sense. But obviously, last season didn't really pave the way, just to give Arsenal a little bit of a more boost that they bottled, in that sense. Anyway, of course, we'll take it Arsenal there, but again, for me, the most important thing is tomorrow, obviously 12:30 kickoff. We'll talk about that in a minute as well, but just mainly just performance. I think that's the main encouraging thing. If we were really surprised about the Spurs performance away from home, obviously, down to 9 men and so on. But tomorrow, if there's a performance day as well as a result, that's an unbelievable thing for Liverpool 2.0. In that aspect as well, and to take away from it as well. To be fair, but I can't believe how fast this game has come around. Won't catch me sleeping. No, absolutely not. Press as well. But good evening, Geordie, as well. Hopefully doing well, mate. Saying how are the lads? So good to see you, Geordie. If we lose, with a fight, yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. I don't want there to be no regrets tomorrow. And again, look, will it 100% define Liverpool not being in a title race? No, it won't do. Look, Liverpool have lost to Manchester City away from home and still been in a title race. I'm not saying that, but if we can get away from home tomorrow, which I think we can do, I think we can get at this Manchester City side, with the attackers that we have. I think the midfield as well is going to be huge. And realistically, what Liverpool plan to do, because I think there is options for Liverpool tomorrow. Liverpool could, try and control the ball. If they do that, I think it'd be a bit of a mistake, though. Or they can do what realistically I think Liverpool are amazing at, is counter-attack. And we saw that last season at Anfield. We managed to, withstand, Manchester City, and obviously Erling Haaland at the time was scoring, week in, week out. He scored like 2 or 3 at that time. And we just completely shut up shop. one quick counter attack or two quick counter attacks, and Liverpool should have been multiple goals ahead. But instead, of course, we won 1-0, and that's what Liverpool might do again. They might go there because again, half 12. City are going to be well, prepped. City are going to be, Pep's not going to, let them start slow the game. Of course, Liverpool have to be on it from minute one. And obviously last season, Liverpool managed to, go 1-0 up, I think, within like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. And that's what Liverpool have to do again. They have to absorb all the pressure and then counter-attack. You've got the players to do it. You've got Mo Salah, you've got Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, well, even Jota in that aspect of things as well. And I think that's what the game plan is for Liverpool tomorrow, is counter-attack. I think Liverpool are really good at it, but they don't do it very often because, again, we know Jurgen likes to, he likes to have all the ball. He likes to, maintain possession, control the game in that aspect of things as well. So overall, you'd expect Liverpool to, do a combination of both, because there will be times in the game where City, again, will be vulnerable. You saw against Chelsea conceding 4 goals, probably even should have lost in some aspects of the game. But again, I think a draw was fair enough, or fair in both perspectives as well. So again, it will be a cracking game. I think it'll probably be one of the games of the season. Again, no, why is it at 12:30? Who bloody knows? Again, I know why it is, but I think there could have been measures made to change it from, of course, 12:30 to 4:30 on Sunday. They are lucky we end at Anfield. I would have predicted 3-0 or 4-1. I wouldn't have predicted that. It will be a close game, even though I've gone a bit weird with my prediction. Again, City aren't the team that they are last season. Again, huge factors in that. Kevin De Bruyne. Again, City this season so far have had to work different combinations to get the best out of Haaland. And last season, that was Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne would find Haaland in a heartbeat and score. And that's, realistic. And even still, City could find different ways. And again, they've got different combinations. You look at Grealish, you look at Ben Doak, you've got Phil Foden, Alvarez as well. There's definitely different combinations they can use to punish Liverpool, 100%. But I feel like this season, even though he is, top goal scorer in the league, I still think Haaland hasn't had the start that he had last season. I don't know if you guys think the same as well, but for me, Haaland hasn't hit the same heights as last season. He's been good. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't. It's not like I'm saying he's been absolutely awful. Of course, he's top goal scorer in the Premier League, but I feel like what we experienced last season compared to this season so far, it's not been the same Erling Haaland that's had the freedom or been able to do the same as what he did last year. In many respects as well. But press saying Kevin De Bruyne, Sané, Aguero was always the three what caused us most problems in that fixture. Yeah, 100%. Like Sané would be a nightmare to play against. Like when he left Manchester City, I think everyone thought, oh, bloody hell, thank God. But yeah, De Bruyne always has a phenomenal game against Liverpool. Last season, I think at the Etihad, he was absolutely brilliant, I think, in that game. I think Alvarez as well played up top. I think he was marvellous as well. He's another guy tomorrow that's, we're going to 100% need to look out for in that aspect of things as well. And that's the like I said, the worry on the Manchester City side of things is that they have so many ways of punishing you. I'm not looking forward to seeing Doku against Trent. You guys, if you're regulars on the channel, if the stuff that I was bringing out 2 years ago, speaking about Jeremy Doku, for me, he was a perfect Sadio Mane understudy back 2-3 years ago. Obviously, now we've got Lucho, and I wouldn't change that if I'm honest. But like, I think if you watched a few games with Jeremy Doku a couple of years ago, you could understand what his future was going to be as long as the injuries didn't take over his career. And so far, what he's done at Manchester City has been nothing but brilliant. And obviously, Pep getting the best out of him in that aspect of things, again, just goes to show what they can do. But speaking more on terms of a Liverpool side of things, well, not as much a Liverpool side of things, but talking more about, of course, Pep obviously today speaking about Liverpool and saying how competitive and how good Liverpool are in certain things. Obviously, couldn't name Dominic Szoboszlai, couldn't name Ryan Gravenberch, neither. Which again, Guardiola playing games in that sense, and obviously playing games during the international break as well. Supposedly all the Manchester City players injured. Of course, Rodri left the Spain camp. Haaland was supposedly injured. Edison left Brazil camp as well because apparently he was injured, which I think every single person knew was a load of crap. They were, nobody, I don't think ever expected those three in particular to, be injured or whatever. Obviously, it was mind games. Pep always does it against Liverpool if there's an international break, or even if there's, certain things. Last season, there was a whole conversation of, is Haaland going to start because he was injured or not? Turns out he was injured that time round. But again, there's always certain mind games the Pep likes to play. With Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. And look, I think if you went to Pep Guardiola and said, who's he most frightened by in the Premier League, it would be Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. And I think I said this, when I'll quickly read Press's comment out in a minute, but I think I said this towards the back end of last season. Liverpool will rebuild and have a better claim to the title than Arsenal. And so far that's proven right. I know that again, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are close. I think we're equal on points with Arsenal, but the fact that Liverpool have gone through a major rebuild in the midfield and have just come back into the title fight again, look, I think that just goes to show Jurgen Klopp and the way we're building this team again. Look, is it finished? Is it the finished article? Of course not. 100% it's not. But what we've seen so far has been amazing. This is the biggest test we'll have throughout the season. And this is what I'm on about in terms of performance as well. If the performance is good, if the result obviously works out well for Liverpool, it shows a massive intent for the season ahead and what we could expect from it. Of course, like I said, we haven't won at Manchester City since 2015. Like, that's mental, the fact that we haven't won here since then. But I don't know. I've got a funny feeling tomorrow, chat. Don't know whether or not you guys agree as well, but I have a weird feeling tomorrow that we'll see Liverpool hopefully get 3 points away at Manchester City. But I've seen City fans projecting Grealish on the left and Foden on the right. Could happen. I just fully expect Jeremy Doku to play. I can't see him. I could 100% see Foden on the right, Doku on the left. And then Haaland and Alvarez up top, which we could see, to be fair. But apparently Pep was going to decide on Haaland's fitness at 6 today. Again, I can't want press, lads. He already knew, didn't he? Again, it's like Haaland turned around and was like, oh yeah, I've got an injury and so on. Or the Norway coach came out and said that he's got a bit of an injury. Look, at the end of the day, everyone knew that Erling Haaland, I think they were out of the Euro qualifiers at that stage as well. Everybody knew that Erling Haaland was going to be rested, and the fake injury claim would be put there instantly as well. But we should have won in 16-17 there. True. We should have, I think, again, Milner scores and then Aguero assisted as well. But again, obviously, the key battle tomorrow is going to be, of course, Virgil van Dijk against Erling Haaland. Now, Haaland hasn't scored against Liverpool for Manchester City yet. I think he scored. Actually, to be fair, he hasn't scored in the league yet. He did score in the League Cup, but quickly get up the last few games between the two teams. Anyway, of course, they beat us 4-1 last season at the Etihad in the Premier League, which again wasn't brilliant on our side of things. Obviously beat us in the League Cup as well, 3-2, knocked us out of that as defending champions. And then again, obviously, the last season, beat them 1-0 at Anfield thanks to Mo Salah, and beat them 3-1 in the Community Shield, where everyone thought last season that was going to be, that was going to be Liverpool. That game, the standard, the performance, that was what Liverpool was going to be. And yeah, we all know what Liverpool was last season. Again, I don't need to go back to those days anyway. But again, it is going to be Haaland against Virgil van Dijk tomorrow. But Van Dijk to leave one on Haaland early. Yeah, and that's what he has to do. Press. Like, again, Van Dijk is back to his best, but tomorrow will be the biggest test. And whoever's next to Virgil van Dijk, again, is it going to be Ibu? Is it going to be Joel Matip? Again, let me know your starting line predictions, Press, or anyone else is in the chat as well. That's going to be the big one tomorrow. Because, a bit of spoilers for starting 11s, I think it'll be Joel Matip. Even though I would prefer Ibu Konate on that side that can play right back. I just think that the last couple of games, even I think when Ibu was on the bench, Jurgen went with Matip, and I think that's what again they'll probably go with. But again, the big one is that Haaland against De Bruyne, 100%. But Wiggs, Coutinho Wiggs, as well, saying Haaland will be fit. Typical Pep mind games, saying somebody's injured and they appear in the starting 11. Yeah, 100%. He does it every time, doesn't he? Like, again, did it last season. Did it, now. And that's the thing. Pep. I would love it now if there is a documentary again, All But Nothing, Man City edition again for this season. I would wonder what he's saying right now behind the scenes. I'm really intrigued to what he thinks about this Liverpool 2.0, the midfield, again, the front line. Again, I think that when you look at the midfield, you probably look at, City's, what would City's midfield be tomorrow? It'll be interesting. I think obviously we know Rod will be in there. Will it be, again, obviously inverted, but they'd have Alvarez, Bernardo Silva in that. That's the one thing I think Liverpool can't afford to do, is allow Bernardo Silva to control the game. Obviously, hopefully that is the case of, again, Gravenberch or even Curtis Jones in that sense on the left hand side. Szoboszlai as well has to step up. Obviously, big week for him with Hungary, but this is the biggest game in Liverpool season. And if we can get points from it, again, like I said, it should hopefully stead us well as well. But what else we have? Go back to Press's comment. Haaland has never beaten Van Dijk. I expect it to stay that way tomorrow as well, hopefully. Well, bloody hope so, Press. Pep doesn't see the 5-0 and 4-1 or 4-0 over us as a big wins. He only sees the 4-1 of last season over us a big win. Again, like after the game, that was the game that started their push last season. Because again, let's not hide around this fact neither. Like, Manchester City didn't play well last season, and that's mad to say considering they won a treble. Like, and it is mad to say that, but they didn't. They didn't play well for what, 70% of the season, probably even 80% of the season. And that probably just goes down to, again, the squads, the amount that they've got there. You look at their second team could probably finish top 4 in the Premier League, potentially. And then you look at, again, you look at other teams, like Arsenal, for example. Like I said, if Liverpool, I think, were back to their best, or the Liverpool of 21-22 was fighting last season for the title, then I think Liverpool would have won the league last year. It was only the fact that Arsenal, obviously, with the clearest challengers for Manchester City, and they bottled it last season. Now this time round, you've got Arsenal that are better than last season. I don't think performance-wise they're not. After watching a couple of games of Arsenal, but they've got 1 year more experience in that team. Liverpool are back in terms of fighting. City have dropped a little bit more. Again, winning a treble, you kind of expect that. and plus them going for 4 Premier Leagues in a row, which again that needs to be stopped. But again, like you look at that unit and it's unstoppable, and hopefully Liverpool have got the answers to it. But yeah, again, it is the first year Liverpool's rebuilt technically as well, so it's going to be an interesting season ahead. But Haaland versus Matip, I almost said Mbappe then. Matip is starting to scare me. I don't know, I don't think it's as bad as what people think. And watch me say that now, and then just show the clip tomorrow. But no, I don't think it's that bad. To be fair, um, Matip kept him quiet in the Champions League, I think, a couple of years ago. So again, who knows? I keep getting the feeling Gomez is going to start right back. I think he's got out of all the positions press. I think left back is the one where it could happen. It might happen because Phil Foden against Simicas. It's horrible when I think about that. What else do we have? Says a lot when he rests his players over an international break, whilst our lads are bossing it all over the world. I hope we batter them. Yeah, 100% press. Not press, sorry, Wigs. 100%. Like Liverpool throughout the international break was unbelievable. What was it Mogo? I think 6 goals. Darwin got two massive goals. What else? What else happened? Luis Diaz got 2 massive goals, obviously beating Brazil. In that sense, not so good for Ali neither, to be fair. But I'm trying to think, obviously Trent playing in midfield for England as well. It'd be interesting. But perhaps I'm not doing a combined 11. City fans wouldn't like my combined 11 for Liverpool City. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what? I still think Trent gets it right back. Personally, I I think he offers so much more. And I think people overly exaggerate Trent being this awful defensive right back. But then when you look at the stats over the last 5 years, or over the last couple of years, Trent is up there in terms of defensive numbers. Like this whole Reece James Trent conversation again, like that was again spoken about in the international break, and probably a bit before that as well. I just don't get where this slander against Trent has come from. A couple of years ago, even probably as back as what, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, we were speaking about Trent being one of the most revolutionary, right backs in world football in terms of how he changed the right back role. And now all of a sudden, people are acting like if Trent's a liability. He is at times. Don't get me wrong. Is he the world's best, right back at defending? No, he's not. Is he the world's best defender? No, he's not. But I think people overly exaggerate how Trent is defensively, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my little rant over. I don't want Gomez playing right back. Grealish or Doku would turn him inside out. Yeah, wouldn't be too good with it. Wakes, to be fair, but I think to be fair, he's been most improved player for Liverpool so far this season. Press has gone Alisson, Walker, Van Dijk, Diaz, Trent. Who's playing right back and left back then? Press, but Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Szoboszlai, Doku, Haaland, and Salah. Don't think Doku gets ahead of Luis Diaz or Jota in that sense. Might be wrong with that, but I don't think so anyway. No left back. They're both playing right back in that sense as well. But he's improved massively right back this season. Yes, like again, I don't get the whole Trent slander. Look, sometimes could I kill him in a football game? Absolutely, I could. But I think what he does offer you going forward, I think nobody else does. And I think what Liverpool have done this season is build the team around him in the new system, in the new style of what Liverpool are doing. They've built the team around Trent Alexander-Arnold, and has he stepped up to it so far this season? No, because he's learning a new role. By February or by January, February time, Trent should be, one of the best players on the pitch for Liverpool. Should be. I'm not saying he will be, but he should be as well anyway. But again, obviously Jurgen speaking about obviously half 12, obviously loving in the press conference earlier on today, obviously saying loving half 12 and so on as well. I did enjoy earlier on though, where again he was just fully taking the mick out of the reporters, the half 12 kickoff and so on. Again, I think now is it 13 games since Jurgen Klopp's been Liverpool manager. The Liverpool will now be on a half 12, which again is more than half of what any other team has as well. But yeah, of course, obviously he was speaking about obviously City's unbeaten run. I think it's 23 games now they've won at home. They've got a home record going, I think, 23 games in a row. And of course, Jurgen was speaking about it and saying, of course, the longer it goes on, again, hopefully, obviously, the longer it goes on, the more likely it is that he'll get stopped and beaten. Which again, you hope that's going to be Liverpool in that sense as well. But again, the biggest conversation in terms of Liverpool tomorrow is midfield. I think that's the one for me. Obviously, Jurgen also speaking about selection in terms of South American lads. I think he was speaking about Darwin and saying again we have to assess these things today. I don't like the way he made it sound as well. Again, obviously, a couple of people reading into it saying again they expect, maybe Gakpo, Jota starting instead of Lucho and Darwin. I think Lucho and Darwin are, for me, the outstanding starters. I think with Jota and Lucho, though, there could be a conversation there, but I think there is also that sense of those two could start the game, but then the impact that Jota has when he comes on is a lot better than what Luis Diaz could do when he comes on the pitch. So for me, I think that's what, for sure, 100%. Again, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah, that's the best front three, I think. Now, if Liverpool want to play the pressing game, again, I think Curtis Jones on the left-hand side is a must. If they want to sit back a little bit more, maybe Ryan Gravenberch is a bit better. But I personally would go Curtis Jones. I don't know about you guys in the comments. For me, I'd go 100% Curtis Jones. I think Liverpool could switch it instantly. If Liverpool want to, sit back a little bit and then press very, very high, I think you can do that with Curtis Jones. Again, counter pressing. He's really, really good in that sense. Obviously, Szoboszlai, Maka as well, I think will start in that position. And like I already spoke about, again, Joel Matip, for me, will start alongside Virgil van Dijk, with Trent right back and Kostas Tsimikas left back, and then obviously Ali in goal as well. That would be my team anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. He's right back. We read that. The way Klopp talks about Mac gives me the vibe Mac's going to start. Yeah, 100%. I spoke about him, didn't he? Being the sixth for Liverpool, saying he was content and happy with the way things were. But also spoke about the midfield as a whole having to do a job to protect Maka and to protect themselves as well, being compact and not overexposing yourselves and that. And that's what Liverpool need to do tomorrow, is to make sure that midfield battle doesn't get lost, because the quality, what Manchester City are going to do. But for Liverpool, if Liverpool can win that battle, they win the game 100%. And again, you hope that this game will show the quality of Curtis Jones, a Gravenberch, a Dominic Szoboszlai as well, and even Maka in that sense as well. Hopefully, it will show the good side and not the bad side of Liverpool's midfield. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that battle, and especially Szoboszlai on the right hand side, or Szoboszlai, sorry, on the right hand side. I'm really looking forward to it as well. I won't be looking forward to it about 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, but I will still be looking forward to it at least. I think we are going to be very compact tomorrow. Yeah, we have to be. You can't be overexposed against City. Was it? I forgot what goal it was last season. I'm trying to think. Was it City's equaliser? Yeah, it was City's equaliser last season, where 1 minute we were compact, and then as soon as Fabinho goes and press, and leaves that gap, then Virgil has to step into that position then there's so much space in behind Virgil that it's an easy goal for Manchester City. And that's what Liverpool can't do tomorrow. Liverpool can't turn around and be sloppy. We can't. Like if you do that, then Liverpool will lose the game and lose it badly, like we have done over certain occasions. Um, and again, like I said, the midfield will be the big battle. Both front lines are amazing. The midfield, though, where last season we suffered massively in that second half, and like we have done, the biggest part of last season was the midfield. Like you look at that Real Madrid game, first leg, we absolutely battered Real Madrid for 45 minutes. And then that second half, they took us to town on that, in that second half. It was embarrassing that second half against Real Madrid. This season has been 10 times better because again, the midfield has looked hungry. And looks, it's looked a midfield that is, that could be a world class midfield. But again, look, it is going to be Liverpool's biggest test tomorrow. I'm personally, again, press has asked, what's your prediction? I'm going for 3-1 Liverpool. I might be a bit mad in saying that. The betting man would say 2-2 for Liverpool City, but I'm going to go 3-1. I think Liverpool's attack can get at them. If Liverpool want to do what they did last season and try and be a bit defensive and then counter attack, again, they've got the players to do it. You've got Lucho, you've got Darwin, you've got Mo to do it as well. That front three alone counter attack wise is brilliant. And it's a different Darwin Núñez as well that is at Liverpool compared to last season. And I'm interested to see what he does against Man City. Could he do replica what he did against Newcastle? I bloody hope so, in that sense as well. But for me, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. I think we get a win tomorrow, 100%. The way Klopp talks about, excuse me, the vibes good start, absolutely 100%. I think we're going to be very compact, 100%. And Kanate was so lost last time out at the Etihad. Yeah, he had like a good half an hour, like everybody else, and then just fell apart like everyone else did last season. Away to Man City. The papers on Sunday, the Red Arrows run riot. I hope they do read that. I also read that Liverpool are top of the league as well, because of course, obviously Liverpool will be 2 points clear if we win tomorrow against Manchester City. Obviously, if there's a draw, Arsenal have the opportunity, but I think they're going to get absolutely battered by Everton this weekend. Oh no, they don't have Everton this weekend. What am I talking about? That's Manchester United. I think Man United are going to get battered by Everton this weekend. That's going to be toxic as hell in that ground as well. Obviously, if Tom's watching, it's going to be absolutely electric. I'm saying Everton are going to batter United as well. But yeah, for us, the major thing for me before we end off chat is I want a performance. I want to, even if it's a loss tomorrow, I want to go away from that game and say Liverpool put in 1000%. And if City are better than us, then they're better than us on the day. But if there's regrets left on that pitch tomorrow, I'll be upset. And I'll be upset with the team. Because again, like I said, this is the best opportunity to see where this team is and where it can compete. Are we just top four, getting top four secured? Or are we title challengers? Are we fighting City for the title this season? And we could potentially, go and, fight for the Carabao Cup or fight for the Europa League and still fight for the Premier League trophy like we did 2 years ago. That is what I hope Liverpool can go and do, is fight for the Premier League, fight for the title, and also fight on all fronts in terms of League Cup, FA Cup, and on the Europa League as well. I think, as Dom Szoboszlai said months ago, what's the point if we're not going to try and fight for everything? And that's what Liverpool need to do. Liverpool have to try and beat City tomorrow. Look, a draw is not the end of the world. Of course it's not. But if we do get a win tomorrow, that will put headlines and it'll put the tempo for the season that Liverpool are here, and Liverpool are not here to mess around. They're here to take over, and hopefully that is what we bloody do tomorrow as well, 100%. But by the way, I do think us fans are so deluded of this game. I don't think so, to be awfully honest. The press, I think, look, if I was going to say Liverpool 5-1, like that's ridiculous. But again, it depends what Liverpool turn up. If Liverpool turn up a decent Liverpool team, then we do quite good, and I think we get a bit unlucky at times. But again, if it's Liverpool, like if it's Liverpool against Luton, battered, and we will get battered, but hopefully, as you said, but we are capable of win, and we are 100%. It's just we need to, perform absolutely brilliantly tomorrow. I can't let any mistakes happen, neither anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, a big thank you to everyone that has popped in. Thank you, Wig. Thank you, Press. Anyone else that's popped in as well that I've forgotten about, thank you very much for popping in. Of course, we'll be live tomorrow straight after the game. Of course, obviously, it's 12:30 tomorrow on Sky Sports. So, yeah, we'll be live about 3, 4 o'clock, maybe. Or we'll be live after the game anyway, with a post-match reaction, hopefully, with a Liverpool win, fingers crossed. And of course, I'm saying that now. When tomorrow comes around, I'll be absolutely shiting myself or shitting myself. Anyway, but what else do we have? Pressing. I'm just scared we don't wake up. We hardly do for 12:30. Yeah, but to be fair, we've won every 12:30 game so far this season, so that's something to be positive about in that sense, as well. Anyway, so yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, chat. To be fair, but yeah, if you're new around here, hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button, if you haven't already. And yeah, very much appreciated as always, guys. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.